Got some very exciting video for you today, shot at the Stahls Automotive Collection in Michigan. And I'll put a link to them in the description below, also on the screen, let you know where this is. But they just acquired a Chrysler Turbine Car, and this is pretty cool. These things do not change hands very often. Most of them are in museums. One of them went up for sale very recently. I got a ton of people telling me, Steve, a Chrysler Turbine Car is up for sale right now. But by the time that news hit, the car had already been sold. And it had been sold to Stahls Automotive Collection in Michigan. So they've got the car. They invited me over to watch them as they got it started for the first time. And the guy who helped do that is Bill Carey, who's on the cover of my book, Chrysler's Turbine Car, The Rise and Fall of Detroit's Coolest Creation. That's Bill in about 1964 or 65, eating a donut, leaning against the back of a Chrysler Turbine Car. So here's the deal. He got the car running, fired it up a couple different times, then we took it for a drive. So I'm going to shut up so we can hear the car run, and then afterwards I'll check back in and give you some more details about these cool cars.
Stan's my girl.
Okay.
How's the gauges look?
Good.
And you don't want that to get up over about 1700 degrees while it's starting. If it does, turn it off. Okay. So that you just turn the key all the way over and let go. And it should automatically begin.
I want to say something. People always say you can't do this. Because they're always going, oh, it'll burn your arm off or it catches the pavement on fire. It's not much hotter than a typical piston engine of the era.
Yeah, there's just a lot more air flowing.
There's a lot of air, but it's not that hot. So my hands survived, you'll notice. So back in the 1960s, Chrysler was experimenting with turbine technology. They built 55 of these bronze turbine cars, although one of them was white, but 54 of them were this exact same color. And they lent them out to the public as part of a huge publicity stunt. 203 different families got to drive these cars. Many, many more had asked for the cars, but Chrysler didn't have that many to go around, just 55 of them. And the 203 families that got them managed to put about 1 million miles on them, relatively trouble-free. It's pretty cool. And the guy who was in charge of that program was Bill Carey. So Bill Carey was the guy who did that back then. We called him up today and said, hey, want to come out and help get this car running? Stahls Automotive Collection called him and asked him that, and he said, yeah, I'd love to. So Bill showed up and got the car running, double-checked a few things first, make sure everything was on the up and up, and got it running. And, of course, Bill was the one who backed it out of the garage and took it for its first drive around a little ways outside. It was pretty cool, and we all got chances to drive it. In case you're curious, of the 55 cars, 46 of them were destroyed. A couple different reasons play into that, one of which is Chrysler just didn't want these cars falling into the wrong hands. People, of course, couldn't get parts of the turbines, and then, of course, they'd be, wedging in, like, slant sixes and so on, so who knows. But a couple different reasons given. Bill told me that he was there when these cars got destroyed, and it was a sad day in Romulus, which is where that happened. Of the cars that remain, there are 9. Chrysler has 2. They both run. The Smithsonian's got one. The Detroit Historical Museum's got one. The Los Angeles Natural History Museum's got one. None of those cars run. St. Louis Museum of Transportation's got one. Theirs does run. But the Henry Ford's got one. Does not run. Jay Leno's got one. His runs. The Stahl Museum's got one. And obviously it runs. So interestingly enough, there are 5 of these cars left that still run. Chrysler's got 2 of them. St. Louis Museum of Transportation's got one. Jay Leno's got one. Stahl's got one. And so, strangely enough, of those 5 cars, I've managed to drive 3 of them, which is pretty cool. But then again, I wrote a book about it, so I had to do that. And it's fabulous. The people at Stahls Automotive Collection, very, very nice and generous to let me come out there and be there when the car got fired up. My good friend Mark Lieberman of Nostalgic Motoring, he was there also. He got to drive the car too, so it's pretty cool. And then, of course, Bill Carey, who oversaw this program back in the 1960s. He was the one who was going out and maintaining these cars in the field. He was often the person who delivered the car to a new family or picked the car up when they were done. So that's pretty cool. And he still had all of the manuals and some of the tools necessary to get this car running. In the video, I'm sure you saw that at one point he had the schematics out. And they were just double-checking everything. Wanted to double-check everything, make sure nothing was not as it should be. So, car runs beautifully. And so if you want to see this car and you get a chance, I urge you to go see the collection. It's huge. They've got a couple hundred cars and all kinds of other neat stuff. Be sure to check out their website. If you get a chance, check out their museum. Stahls Automotive Collection. Wonderful, wonderful place. While you're there, you can see, of course, the Turbine Car. You can see a Tucker. And you can see hundreds of other cars you didn't even know existed. So there you go. Check it out. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later.